How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Come on, you could do much better than that. My name is Chris Bowes, Senior Tournament Manager with Bass. I want to welcome everyone to our second chance qualifier for our BASSfest finals starting tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock takeoff, right there in Dayton, Tennessee. We sent out 90 anglers that kind of, in some cases, had pretty good days on day 1 and 2. In some cases, they really struggled. And we gave them an opportunity to go out here today on Lake Nickajack, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and have one more shot to get inside the top 10 today and qualify, re-qualify back into the finals over the next 2 days in Dayton. So we got an exciting way, and we've been watching online, and I hope all of you have been watching online on Bassmaster.com or following us on the new Bassmaster News app that's available now. It's a great tool to follow the action on the water, and we've seen some exciting stuff. You know, some of the anglers as they, you know, were looking at not qualifying, going to Lake Nickajack, they really didn't know what to expect. Many of them didn't have much knowledge of the water. In many cases, they had never even been on the lake. But what this amazing group of anglers was able to do is truly amazing because they are the best in the world. Before we get started, we got the anglers. They checked in at 2:15. We got them getting some shuttle rides up here to get their boats, put them on the trailers, bag their fish. We already got a half a dozen or so in line. But before we get started, we got a lot of great folks that we got to thank that make this happen. Of course, we want to thank Toyota as well as Bass Pro Shops, Triton Boats, Mercury Outboards, Nitro Boats, as well as Skeeter Boats and Yamaha engines, official engine of Bass. I want to thank Berkeley Baits, Evan Williams Bourbon, Humminbird Electronics, Minn Kota Trolling Motors. Give all those sponsors a big round of applause. We can't do it without them, as well as our supporting sponsorships with Carhartt, and a great chance to talk about the Carhartt Big Bass in the tournament. Who was down there yesterday and saw Hank Cherry weigh in that 10-pound, 11-ounce largemouth bass? Incredible. He was down there. Incredible. Well, I got news for you. We got a young man right here, Schuyler Hamilton. He's getting ready to challenge that. It's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes out for our Carhartt Big Bass tournament. Could be a bonus of $1,000. Of course, I want to thank Diet Mountain Dew as well as Rigid Industries. Great to have them on board this year's. Livingston Lures, Power Pole, Shimano, Lowrance, Booyah Baits. Give all those supporting sponsors a big round of applause. And when you're doing that, keep your hands together for the Hamilton County Park System right here, Tennessee River Park. Give those folks a big round of applause. You know, this site, when you're bringing 90 pros here, you can see some of the challenges we had from the boat ramp, getting them parked up here, and those folks have been tremendous. I really want to give them a huge shout-out because without their help, we couldn't get this done, and we really do appreciate it. So we're streaming live, of course, on Bassmaster.com like we always do with the Bass Tournament weigh-ins. And a really cool feature here, you know, we got the huge expo. Of course, our first 2 days weigh-in down there in Dayton. We're actually streaming live right now to the expo down in Dayton. So give them all a big round of applause and let them know all the folks up here going to be down there. Hopefully many of you joining your favorite anglers down there for the weekend. So we're just about ready to get started. But before we do, like we always do with our Bass Tournament weigh-ins, if we could ask you to please rise and remove your caps so we can pay tribute to our fighting soldiers, and our flag is located over the Bass stage here. We can pay tribute to our fighting soldiers and, of course, our veterans with the playing of our national anthem. that, and I want you to keep your hands together as we welcome to the stage my boss and my friend. Come on up here, Bass Tournament Director, Mr. Tripp Weldon. Oh, Tripp, what a day. I mean, you know, so many anglers really had a lot of question marks about fishing Lake Nickajack this morning and last night, but what we've seen on Bassmaster.com today has been amazing.
Well, Dave, wait, you're not Dave. You're much better.
Yeah, you know me, right? We met about 10 years ago.
You're much better looking than Dave and probably a whole lot easier to get along with. I hope he's watching back at Dayton at BASSfest.
I don't know if I'm better looking, but I know I have more hair.
You definitely have more hair, much more than I have, so. But anyhow, you and I talked, you know, this is what we call second chance, but we kind of renamed it. This is BASSfest Phase 2. Tomorrow we ease into BASSfest Phase 3, which many of the 10 of these anglers want to get to. So I think, you know, we see behind us, man, the 50 guys that are back at the site in Dayton, they're going to think, man, maybe we talked about we didn't want to go to Nickajack. We're glad we're not at Nickajack. Wait till they see these sites that are going to come across the stage. So it's going to be interesting. At the end of the day, we're going to send 10 anglers back into our competition tomorrow, take off at 7 o'clock, 60 anglers. We'll weigh in tomorrow at Dayton at 4 o'clock, taking off at 7 o'clock, weigh in at 4, and then we'll cut to our top 12 traditional like we do with our Elite Series and crown a champion on Sunday. But, Chris, I want to thank you for coming. Our Bass Pro Shop Opens presented by Allstate. Chris runs those all across the country. Does an awesome job. Our numbers are just astounding, and you do an awesome job. And you know most of these guys that are going to come across this stage, and you know what great anglers they are, a lot of whom have moved on to the Elite Series. So it's going to be a fun weigh-in. You and I both in Chuck Harbor, and we're running on fumes. I told somebody I had about an hour and 45 minutes sleep last night, worried about the logistics, but with the Hamilton County Parks, our staff, Dennis, all of our volunteers, we had all the boats in the water, take off on time at 6:15 a.m., which was incredible because we're 1,000 yards from the boat ramp. The field's muddy. It's been raining and raining and raining. Logistical nightmare. We got it all done. Kudos to everybody, our whole staff.
Well, thankfully, our weather here today is held off, and it looks like things are clearing up a little bit. We're going to get Tripp to set those scales, and everything is looking good. I think we got our anglers about ready to get this thing started. We got to know, is our crowd ready to get this thing rolling? What do you say, Tripp? You ready to roll?
Let's rock, Chris.
Let's roll and bring up our first angler. You see him on the Bass Pro Shops, a Bassmaster Open Series. He's from Dandridge, Tennessee. He's got 2 weighing bags coming to the scales. That means he's got a big one. What do we got there? Schuyler Hamilton. Oh, my goodness. We'll put that in there. I'll take this from you, Schuyler. Holy. You told me backstage, biggest bass of your life right there.
Oh, absolutely. It is by far the biggest bass of my life.
We're looking for 1 pound to take the lead. I think you got that.
I might have that. I don't know.
25 pounds at 13 ounces. Grab that one. We're going to get a couple photos and show the folks watching down there in Dayton, Tennessee. Oh, man. Beautiful fish. We're going to get a weight on that. Could be a Carhartt big bass. Of course, Hank Cherry, we talked about it earlier, weighed in that giant 10-pound, 11-ounce fish. I think this one is going to be in that 10-pound range.
I've never caught one that big, so I have no idea.
What'd you catch it on?
A 10-inch power worm, 9.50.
9 pounds, 15 ounces. Maybe you can talk to Dave Precht. He's the editor of Bassmaster magazine. You know, the Lunker Club is 10 pounds. You were 1 ounce short. Maybe you can get down there and talk to Mr. Precht, and he'll cut you a little slack.
Oh, that would be real nice. I'd like to talk a little bit about my day. It was so amazing, and the people that were around me and supporting me, it was just incredible. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and it was so just it was I can't even talk. But I would like to thank Skeeter, Yamaha, Morristown Marine, and all the people that have supported me and believed in me, even though I've done bad the past few times. And Mom and Dad for coming, and my buddy Josh for helping me with everything, and just all my sponsors, and it was amazing.
All right. Well, I think with that kind of weight, 25-14, I think there's a very, very good chance that you'll be fishing again tomorrow.
You know, I was trying to – I had a 2-pounder in that bag, and I was really sweating. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to make it. If I was catching this, I'd hate to see what everybody else brought in.
Okay, well, you're going to have to sweat it out a little bit. Put your hands together one more time Schuyler Hamilton. All right, our next angler coming to the stage. He's an Elite Series rookie this year. He's from Wylie, Texas. Come on up, Mike Hernan. How we doing, Mike?
Good. How are you?
Hard to follow a big fish like that, but you had a very solid day as well.
Hard to follow that, but I was pretty happy. I caught him on a ledge again. And
today's weight for you, 17 pounds, 15 ounces. Going to move you into second place, but good chance, very good chance. Mike Hernan might get a chance to fish again tomorrow. Tell us about your day, Mike.
Well, you know, it's a Tennessee impoundment, so I took what I learned on Chickamauga and came down here and looked at a few ledges. I found some fish on a couple. I pulled up on one. About the fifth cast, I caught one. I stayed there the rest of the day and caught all those fish in that one spot.
All right, well, great job. Hopefully we'll see you at 7 a.m. for our Toyota takeoff. Oh, he's no stranger to winning big-time tournaments. Had a Elite Series win earlier this year. Mike McLaughlin from Bella Vista, Arkansas. How we doing, Mike?
Well, hopefully we're doing well enough. I don't know. It sounds like they really caught him today, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Today's weight for you, 13 pounds and 12 ounces, going to move you into third place. Many anglers talking about that 13, 14-pound range, about what it's going to take, so I think Mike McLaughlin is in the hunt.
Well, you know, I hope so. I really felt like that I'd used up all of my blessings from the good Lord today. I actually caught three pretty quick. I actually caught three off of one boat dock today, and just started running boat docks up the river, and I pitched up by a dock, and I broke a big one off, and sat down, retied a jig, pitched up there again, had another big one on, and fortunately I caught that biggest one I just showed with about 5 minutes left to go straight across the river. So I figure if it's meant to be, I'll be there tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Mike McLaughlin already punched his ticket to the 2015 Bassmaster Classic, and he's going to be followed by David Kilgour from Jasper, Alabama. Winner back-to-back years on the Bass Pro Shops of Bassmaster Opens presented by Allstate, and great to have you here fishing with us at BASSfest.
Oh, what a lake. I've never been here in my life, but, man, I had a great time today. I mean, I'm just glad. I mean, I just knew it had water in it. That's all I knew, and came here and fished that. I jumped a 4-pounder off early this morning, and I knew it was really going to hurt me, but I caught one good one, so it was a lot of fun.
Today's weight for you, 12 pounds, 13 ounces, 12-13. Great job. We'll see how this shakes out. Thank you, David. Kurt Dove from Del Rio, Texas. You see Kurt on the Bassmaster Elite Series fishing for Team BK Racing. We got a limit, don't we, Kurt?
Yeah, we do. Like David, I had never been here before. Had a great time today. Caught several fish, and I think this proves what a fishery can really put out when you don't, when you're not practicing for 3 days and everybody's jacking them all day long. So
today's weight for you, 11 pounds and 5 ounces. Going to put you in fifth place overall. Right now, 11.5 going to put you in fifth place. Great job this week. Maybe you get a chance to go out and get them again tomorrow. Our next angler coming to the scales, Steve Kennedy from Auburn, Alabama, struggling to get up here. Seems like you were on him all day today, though, Steve.
Yeah, I did okay. I caught two this morning, two good ones on a swim bait this morning, and two more on a jig. And
15 pounds, 15 pounds, 7 ounces, 15.7. Swim baits, you're no stranger to throwing those things around. I think I remember several years back when you had that big Elite Series win there on Clear Lake. I think you invested like $2,000 in swim baits alone.
I spent $3,000 before the tournament started, and probably $10,000 before we left California. But yeah, I caught two good ones up here behind the dam. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and just go look for current and throw that thing around, and it's amazing what will come up and eat it. But I caught my last good one on a frog, about a 3-pounder, and I saw him sitting 4 inches under the surface, and I skipped it in there within a foot of him. It was just gorgeous. Watch the whole thing. So.
Well, great job. I think that may be enough to get you out on the water together again tomorrow. Oh, speaking of frogs, come on up here, Dean Rojas, the frog master. If the frog bite was on, you must have him, Dean.
Oh, not today, not today.
All right, Dean. Oh, just a couple shy of his limit. Going to be 7 pounds and 8 ounces, but tell us about the week.
Well, it started off halfway decent. I finished tied for 50th first yesterday, so came out here and thought I can catch a good limit today and move on up to, but that's not going to be the case. The guys caught him really good. I think the lake really showed itself today. But I want to thank my sponsors, Gander Mountain, Yamaha, and Skeeter, all the great folks at Spro and Gamakatsu, for all the great frogs they build for me. Ducket Rods and Reels, it does a fantastic job. Oakley Sunglasses, Gemini, Sunline. And I want to thank my wife and my 2 kids watching at home. I'll be home in a couple days. Can't wait. Love you both.
All right, safe travels to you, Dean. Thank you. All right, from Pierre Part, Louisiana. Come on up the Cajun baby, Cliff Crochet. Talk to me, Cliff.
Decent day. Caught a couple fish and had a good time on the water. Just not no big ones.
Today's weight for you at 10 pounds and 15 ounces, just 1 ounce shy of 11 pounds. Going to have Cliff sitting currently in 7th place overall with 10-15. You didn't get that frog bite going today, or did you?
I caught a couple on it. It's all good. We got 100 points. Going home for a little bit and try to finish the year strong.
All right, great to see you as always. Safe travels. Our next angler, you see him on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Come on up, Michael Simonton from Fremont, Ohio. He's got a 5-fish limit. Tell us about your day, Michael.
I know it was a fun day. You know, the fog was really low this morning, running down the river, and just threw a spinnerbait all day and caught 5 little ones.
Today's weight, 9 pounds and 10 ounces, 9-10. Sitting in 8th place. Not probably going to be enough to fish that top 10, but great to have you here with fishing with us at BASSfest. All right, come on up from Gilbert, Arizona. Josh Beertran. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing all right. I had a pretty tough week. I sat out deep pretty much all week. Never found what I was looking for, but, you know, BASSfest has been a lot of fun. I'm not going to fish tomorrow, but I will be at the expo, so, you know, if anyone wants to come out and talk fishing, come hang out with us in the Rigid Industries booth. I'll also hang out with the Berkeley guys, and I'll be at the Nitro booth as well. So come see some of the cool products. You know, we'll talk some fishing and have a good time.
All right, always good to see you, and hopefully folks will stop over there at the Bass Expo at BASSfest and check you out. From Gunnersville, Alabama, come on up, Kevin Hawk. Kevin's got just one. You struggled a little bit today, huh?
Yeah, you know, I had a good draw this morning, so I went up to the dam and spent some time and caught a couple good smallmouth. Unfortunately, we're only allowed to weigh in 1/18, so that's what I weighed in today. But I'd like to thank everybody for standing in the rain, watching us weigh in. You guys are troopers. And if you guys can make it, come out to BASSfest tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of great anglers giving next seminars and teaching some fishing, so it'll be a fun time.
All right, look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Kevin. Great job. We'll see you tomorrow at BASSfest. Kotaro Kereama from Moody, Alabama, a former winner on the Bassmaster Elite Series. He's got a 5-fish limit, a good bag, looking to make a run up the leaderboard. Get him to settle down on the scales. What kind of weight you got there, Kota?
I don't know. We'll see.
16 pounds, 4 ounces, 16.4. Going to put Kota in 3rd place right now. He's staring down a top 10 spot. Yeah. What are the, Kota, what are the similarities between here and Chickamauga?
It's about the same thing, just a different spot. But I struggled this morning a little bit today, but as the day goes, I take a time and lost 2 big ones. And I said, okay, there go my $10,000, right? But my partner I was fortunate, he teaches the golf and mental part of it. So he goes, calm down, and I calmed down and finally caught those fish, so it worked that well.
All right, well, great job. I think there's a very good chance you're going to be. Yeah, that's a great, excellent. Hold on there, Greg. That is an excellent opportunity to talk about the Marshall program with Tripp.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. You know, we started this, 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been incredible. I think for $125, some of these marshals, they've ridden with the best guys in the business for 3 days, some of them 4 days, and a couple of them 5 days. So, you know, they rode 2 days up on Chickamauga. We had 90 of them volunteer to come down here. They were gung-ho. You and Chuck and I pulled in, 4:15, 4:20, and a couple of marshals were already here, raring to go. So, great program. Log on to Bassmaster.com. We'll take those entries probably September, October, somewhere around there. First come, first serve, and I will tell you they fill up quick. So just keep an eye on Bassmaster.com.
And you know what amazes me is how many guys I talk to, you know, you see them here this week and they've got Marshall apparel from previous experiences, and sometimes they keep coming back. And I know several anglers that, you know, they try to at least do like 2 events a year because they just find it so beneficial and they learn so much.
Absolutely. And I see Chuck walking back there. Chuck handles our Marshall program. He makes a concerted effort to talk to every marshal at every event, and it's 99% positive. You know, I'm looking at the tanks right now. I see Greg Vinson, Poche, Short, Matt Reid, Mark Davis, other guys. I think it might be Brett Hyde. I'm not sure. Up-and-coming stars behind them. Gerald Spoor, yeah, Louisiana. He looked kind of like Brett Hyde.
He does look a little bit like him.
And then they get to see, you know, the guys that are in the Bass Pro Shop Opens that are going to advance to Elite Series. So Britt Myers was on stage yesterday. He said, I've never had a bad marshal. He said they've always had a great time. And I attribute a lot of that to Britt himself. But it is a great program. We're proud of it, and it's rocking and rolling.
All right, speaking of rocking and rolling, let's bring up our next angler from Wetumpka, Alabama, Greg Vinson. All right. Right now, 7-8 to get inside that top 10, and 13-8 will do that for you for now. Hold a couple of those up. We'll get a photo and show our friends watching in Dayton, Tennessee, what's going on here as we look to identify our top 10 anglers to move on another day at BASSfest. And Greg Vinson, you sure would like to be there tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Oh, man, I'd love to. I like the format. You know, no practice. I didn't have a clue last night. I'd never been on Nickajack, didn't know anybody that had been on Nickajack. And it's pretty cool. I just sat down last night when we got through eating dinner and pulled up my GPS and started picking out some spots that I thought had potential. And lo and behold, the first one I pulled up to ended up being the best one for me today. So that's the cool thing about fishing, you know, is decision-making and seeing things work out and putting that puzzle together. That's why we all do this. It's always a constant challenge, and it's always changing, so it keeps you driven to try to figure it out each day. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tripp and I were talking about it. You know, we have a college weigh-in going on down in Dayton, right immediately following this weigh-in. And we were talking about, we think a lot of you anglers were doing a lot of late-night studying last night.
I'm afraid we were. You know, I was glad Steph and Gage got a chance to come up yesterday afternoon. I'm going to take off up north and do a little pre-fishing, so I'm going to be gone for 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So I was glad they were able to come up. We spent some time together, and I didn't spend as much time studying as I normally would for a tournament because I wanted to spend a little more time with them, but maybe it paid off. You know, the little bit of time I took, I picked the right spot.
All right, great job. You're sitting in 6th place right now. All right, from Pike Road, Alabama, come on up, Keith Poche. Oh, how are we doing, Keith?
I wish it was a little bit better.
Are you surprised with what we're seeing here today?
You know, not really. I mean, you know, some guys caught a few, and, you know, some guys aren't. But
today's weight, 12 pounds and 12 ounces. Going to hold a couple up. Get some photos for Bassmaster.com, and you can log on to Bassmaster.com and check out all these great photos.
Did somebody catch 25 pounds?
Absolutely. Schuyler Hamilton from Dandridge, Tennessee.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, that's all right. You know, it's been a fun week. You know, I'd like to get a check, but, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, the good thing is I get to hang out with my fiancée, Brandy. She came in town this week, and, you know, just a little while ago we got some more news. I'm going to be a daddy.
All right. Put your hands together for Keith Poche.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of excited. You know, it's kind of a surprise, but it wasn't really planned. But we're excited about it and looking forward to it. So, you know, I'll tell you, she really would have liked that 10 grand and buy some diapers. But, you know, maybe next time.
All right, you'll get them next time. Thank you, Keith. Always good to see you. Oh, Haig from Mayflower, Arkansas. Come on up. K-Pink, Kevin Short. Kevin with a good bag of fish there.
Well, it was a fun day. I've never been here, didn't know anything about it. Put the bass cat in the water and ran down the lake till I found some grass.
Hold a couple of those up when I tell everyone you just put 13 pounds and 10 ounces on the scales and moved into 6th place. All right, so 13-10 sitting in 6th place. You happy with that performance?
I'll tell you when this is over with.
You're going to watch very, very closely. Right now, we're going to take a look. Sitting in the top 10 right now. There we go. Of course, Schuyler Hamilton leading this thing with 25 pounds and 13 ounces. Mike Hernan in second with 17-15. Kotaro in third with 16-4. Then we got some 15-13s. Looking at 10th right now, Kurt Dove with 11-5.
Well, we'll see. You know, there's a bunch of guys that are going to weigh in. This is a fun place to fish. You know, I caught everything today on top water, and I caught them all day long. Just, you know, never had a really big bite, but, man, I must have caught 40, 50, got the hook in my finger, got that out. You know, it was just a fun day.
Just a great day of fishing, no matter how this shakes out. Always good to see you. Thank you, Kevin. And now we'll have our next angler. You see him on the Bassmaster Elite Series. He's running around in that great nitro boat powered by Mercury Outboard. Put your hands together for Matt Reid.
Hey, how are y'all?
I'm wonderful. You?
Good. I hope I'm good enough.
Let's look at the weight. We'll get them to settle down. 14 pounds and 15 ounces going to move you into 5th place. 14-15 going to put Matt Reid right in the middle of that top 10, sitting in 5th place. And it could be enough to get another fresh start tomorrow.
That would be nice. That means a $10,000 day. Whatever else it means, that's for sure what it means on the start.
How many bass tournaments have you fished in your life, Matt? And I know you've fished a bunch. How many can you fish where you actually get to go out there, not making that top 50, you get to go out there basically free and clear and fish another day to finish inside the top 10 and make $10,000?
Well, this is probably the first one I've ever done that. You go from the point of really being frustrated about coming up a little short, yesterday, and then all of a sudden you have to flip the switch over and say, hey, I got to go fishing again, and maybe I can get back in this thing. So really neat to go to a lake I've never launched my boat on. So, a lot of times when you get somewhere, your first practice day is the best day you have. So off we went. Oh, and by the way, somebody said it was 25 miles to the other end. Wrong. It's nearly an hour.
All right, Matt, great job. Always good to see you. Oh, he's leading our Bassmaster Elite Series Toyota Angler of the Year points by a mere 1 point. And he's trying to get himself into the final 2 days of BASSfest. He's one shy of his limit with 4 fish. Going to end the day with 12 pounds and 4 ounces, 11th place. Not Mark Davis, not going to get a chance to fish on Saturday, but a good quality bite. Good news is you're going to get that Angler of the Year check next time, too, aren't you?
I like them Angler of the Year checks. The one that you really want is the one after we get done up there in Escanaba, Michigan. But it's tight now. I mean, I had a big lead, and I bombed out at Dardanelle, and Hackney's 1 point behind. So it'll be interesting.
And Mark, you were very humble throughout the whole thing because I watch closely. I don't get to go to a lot of the Bassmaster Elite Series events, but I'm right there online watching on Bassmaster.com. And from day one, you had you kind of built that nice lead, but you were from day one humble and said, in this sport, anything can happen, and now it has. But, man, if anyone can close this deal out, you can, Mark.
Yeah, it would be nice to win it for my 4th time. I'm 50 years old, and that'd be quite an accomplishment to get that done, fished against these young guys. But, we're going to some places that I like. Even though I've never fished them, I like going up north, and, we all do. So I'm looking forward to it.
You got, 2 guys on your nipping at your heels. The hottest guy in the country right now, Greg Hagan, no doubt. Won FLW last week, did great, and then defending champion Aaron Martin's right there behind you.
Yeah, it's quite a storyline, really, and I can tell you about streaks, and you can get on them and then you can get off of them. And I'm hoping, no bad luck to Greg, but maybe he'll kind of run out of steam. That can happen. I mean, you can get on that train and ride it, and all of a sudden you just crash, boom, and you'll have a bad tournament. It happens all the time to all of us, and none of us are bulletproof. And
the cool part here this week, Greg's going to get 100 points, and Mark's going to get 100 points. So you still got that 1 point lead.
Yeah, thank goodness. I didn't do very well here this week. And had it been a points event, I might have prepared. I might have come over here and looked at the lake. I might have done a little bit better. But I just came over here cold turkey, and that didn't work. I never could get those fish figured out up there on Chickamauga.
All right, well, great job. Always good to see you. Put your hands together. A true champion, Mark Davis. All right, one of the young guns out of the Bass Pro Shops of Bassmaster Opens, presented by Allstates from Gonzales, Louisiana. Gerald Spoor. I bet you heard of a guy named Greg Hackney, huh?
Yeah, he lives in my town. He's a pretty good guy.
Today's weight for Gerald, 11 pounds and 5 ounces. 11.5, going to have him at 13th place. 13th place right now. But he's having a great season on the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Opens. So how'd you enjoy your week at BASSfest?
Well, I felt like I found the fish, and just like everybody else, we was all sharing spots, and I think I was a little more respectful than I should have been. I probably should have been a little more aggressive because I stayed off of a lot of stuff because it was crowded. So I committed to one school, and I kind of established my presence early, and so they knew I was there, and I can come and go as I please. The first day they fired on me in the last 45 minutes, and I caught a 16-pound bag. The second day, we was all sitting there waiting for it to happen, and then the clock ticked, time to go, and we didn't have them. I had a good time with my marshal today. He drew 2 guys that were just sitting on top of school drop shot, and that's like watching paint dry. It's boring. He said, man, I didn't sign up for this, and today we went frogging. He was videoing and blogging and doing everything else. He was having a good time. We caught a lot of fish.
All right, great job, great stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you, Gerald. Our next angler, another Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open Series angler, Brock Mosley from Collinsville, Mississippi. Good to have you here, Brock. You had a great day on day number 1. Yesterday slipped up a little bit, but today, much better day. 15 pounds and 7 ounces. Going to move you into 4th place. You could be back in the hunt for the BASSfest Championship. And that's the kind of quality bites you need out here. All right, things are looking up right now, Brock.
I didn't think I had that much.
All right, we'll go ahead and get a weight on this big fish, 5 pounds and 8 ounces.
Yeah, my scale had him at 4 pounds, and I was like, oh, golly, I thought that was going to be
We can fix that if you want.
No, that's fine. That's fine. My cameraman had the live GoPro footage of that one going, and supposedly he got a text, and that one was going on the stage, or on the big screen at BASSfest when I caught that one. So that was a pretty good feeling after they got to see me act like an idiot after I caught that one. I had to throw my little Iconelli fit because I was late in the day and I knew I needed one more big one. I lost one this morning that really would have helped, and just like the whole week's going to be close.
All right, well, great to have you here. Either way this thing shakes out, but I think there's a good chance you're going to be going fishing tomorrow. Come on up. Everybody knows this angler, David Walker from Sevierville, Tennessee, just about due north of here. How'd things go for you, David?
Well, I'll be heading due north here shortly.
Today's weight, 11 pounds and 15 ounces. He's going to hold one up for the cameras. David Walker, always in the hunt on the Bassmaster Elite Series. You spend a lot of time down here?
I do not. This is the first time I was on this place. And the way my practice was going up on Chickamauga, I kept saying every day at the end of it, tomorrow I need to go down and fish nickerjack because this is really not panning out. Sure enough, I wish I would have, but as it turns out, I was still able to catch my 11 or 12 pounds that I catch on every single pool on the Tennessee River. But, I just don't know how to make those bigger fish trigger this time of the year. I mean, at Wheeler, won the Elite Series there. I had a school of fish that I could get them fired up, but, things have changed in the last few years, and there's a lot more deep fishermen, and those fish are seeing a lot more lures, and it's really obvious because they get harder and harder to catch no matter how many you find. Before, you could idle a spot, find a school, you could mark it as money. Now you find that school, then you got to figure out how to catch those fish as well. And so, for me coming down here, it's great to be close to the house. I would really like to have went back and tried another round up there in Chickamauga, but to be honest with you, I really wouldn't have had a shot of winning it anyway. So why not just head on back to the house and get recovered and head on to the next one?
You'll be home in about 2 hours, I'm guessing.
That's about all it'll take. I might drive a little faster this time.
Hour and a half. Drive safe, though. Drive safe, okay, David? Great job, David Walker. Another Bassmaster Elite Series Pro, Tracy Adams. Tracy rolling around in that Nitro Mercury. Oh, how'd we do?
That was a pretty decent day.
Settling down on the scales. These fish all very much alive. The anglers have done a fantastic job taking care of these post-spawn fish. 15 pounds and 9 ounces going to put Tracy Adams all the way up into 4th place. And what? That is the quality bite you're looking for? Man. What do you think, Tripp? I'm saying 7.5. What do you think, 7.5?
5.
5? What?
At least 5.
At least 5. What do you think, Tracy?
At least 5.
Get it settled on the scales. Ooh, 8 pounds, 7 ounces. Yeah, I had it inversed.
I had a good day. That big one saved it, though. If I don't catch it, I'm in trouble. I called out a 1 pounder, pound and a quarter or something with it. So made a big.
That's a 7-pound gain right there.
Yeah, it was a big gain.
So what did you catch that big one on? What bulk of your weight today?
A jig. Well, I caught 2 of them on a jig and 3 on a popper that I weighed.
Yeah, it sounds, second topwater we heard mentioned, sounds like that topwater thing was going on. Of course, ideal conditions. If you read Bassmaster magazine, you got that cloud cover, little bit of ripple on the water, just ideal conditions for an all-day topwater bite.
Yeah, it was. I wasted about an hour, though, this morning. I was running around out on the edge of those ledges where the brush was sticking up, and I thought I could catch them flipping and all that. So I really wasted the best part of the top water this morning, but ended up doing okay.
I think you did great. 15 pounds, 9 ounces. Hopefully you get an opportunity to see you at takeoff tomorrow morning. Oh, another one of the Tennessee pros fishing his freshman season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Put your hands together for Brandon Lester.
How are you, Chris?
I'm wonderful, man. I miss you.
I know. It's good to see you, man. I'll see you again in October at Lake Norman.
Today's weight for you, 12 pounds even. 12 even going to have you in 14th place. Not quite enough to get inside that top 10, but a very respectable limit of fish there for Brandon Lester. Having a great season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. So proud of these guys that come out of the Bass Pro Shops, Bassmaster Opens, and you guys these days, it seems like you're just really ready to compete.
Yeah, I was definitely ready to compete. You know, that's the whole reason I signed up and fished the Opens was with the goal to qualify for the Elite Series, and I got to tell you, man, it's been quite a blessing to be here on the Elites this year. I've had just a ton of fun and look forward to many good years to come. But I had a lot of fun out there today, man. I've spent a lot of time on this stretch of river. I caught probably 30 fish today, I'd say. This is a special place to me. I wish I'd have caught them a little better, but I'll go hang out at BASSfest tomorrow in the Mud Hole booth. Y'all come see me.
All right, we'll see you over there. Thank you, Brandon. And our next angler, former Bassmaster Elite Series pro, Team Skeeter Yamaha's Brian Clark. How'd you do? Looks like a pretty good day.
It started out real good. I caught one about 4.5 the second flip, and then it was dead for about 5 hours. So.
All right, we'll get them settled down on the scales. Very well. Very much alive, these fish. They're kicking. What'd you catch them on today, Brian?
A jig and a 10-inch worm. I caught that good one on a 10-inch worm.
Today's weight 11 pounds even. 11 even, going to have them sitting in 18th place. 18th place right now. Get a photo of that. We'll take a look right now. Greg Vinson holding down 10th place with it looks like 13 pounds, 8 ounce, 13.8 to get yourself inside that top 10. Always good to see you, Brian. Thank you. And our next angler coming on up, a winner on the Bass Pro Shops of Bassmaster Open Series, not only last year, but again this year at the same venue, Red River.
Yeah, and I heard we were going to the Red River on every tournament next year, too.
I know you lobbied for that. You and I talked, man. You're like, can we just have all 3 Central Opens at the Red River?
I believe we can. Let's start in about February. Let's have us one about April the 28th. That's my birthday. I've had a good birthday present the last 2 years up there, and then we could have one like later on in the fall.
But you come here kind of a river type system. I mean, they call it a lake, but it's got the current, it's got all the elements of a river, but a lot different than the Red River.
Well, it is, and I fished it a lot like the Red River because I fished a lot of visible stuff, and that's what I like doing. I like flipping and throwing spinnerbaits and things like that around targets, and it's a very target-rich environment out there. The first 2 fish were just 3-pounders, 3 1/4, and it just kind of made me sit down, but that's the decision you make on rivers. You have to kind of get a game plan together, go with it, and I've never been here before. I just rolled with it and didn't work out. But I would like to say a quick shout-out to the great folks up there at Dayton. They did a wonderful job as a host, and look forward to coming back hopefully one of these days.
Absolutely. Well said, Stephen. All right, they're asking me to go down the top 10 right now. In number 1 spot, Schuyler Hamilton, Mike Hernan in 2nd, Kotaro Kereama in 3rd, Tracy Adams in 4th, Brock Mosley sitting in the 5th place position, Steve Kennedy in 6th, Matt Reid in 7th, McLaughlin in 8th, Kevin Short in 9th, and Greg Vinson with 13 pounds and 8 ounces is sitting in that coveted 10th place position. All right, our next angler coming on to the scales. Come on up. You see him on the Bass Pro Shops, the Bassmaster Open Series. Mike L.C. from Mooresville, Indiana. He's got a 5-fish limit. We're looking for 13.8 to get you inside the top 10.
Man, this was an emotional roller coaster today. I got on a little deal this morning, and they were going crazy, and then I lost a 5-pounder right at the boat, and I was just being an idiot. But I ended up catching another good one after that, so I don't know. It's going to be close, I hope.
Today's weight, 13 pounds, 5 ounces. 13.5, going to fall a little bit short, about 3 ounces short of getting inside that top 10, but with several anglers left to weigh, probably wouldn't have been enough. That 5-pounder, though, that may have done it, Mike. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your week here at BASSfest, and I hope you still get the opportunity maybe to qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series and roll with these guys all season long?
I hope so. That's my lifelong goal, and just like everybody else. But you know, I just got to put my head down and get it together, and I think it'll happen.
I think it will too, Mike. Great job. Thanks for coming out fishing with us. Ooh, this guy's no stranger to big-time wins. Put your hands together for Bassmaster Classic champion Chris Lane. Do we got any Powells in there?
No, not today.
Already qualified for the 2015 Bassmaster Classic via his win there on the St. Johns River. Today's weight for you, 10 pounds, 13 ounces.
Yeah, not very good. But, you know, I wish we do more events like this where you don't get to practice. You get to go up and fish. I found these fish actually driving to Chickamauga, and I was coming over the interstate, and I saw them schooling, so I went in there. I had a lot of fun. I probably caught 50, 60 fish today, but just not the right size.
All right. Great job. 10 pounds, 13 ounces. Safe travels. Get over there and check out Team Power Poles Chris Lane at the Expo. Come on up, another big-time angler. Is she on the Bassmaster Elite Series? Put your hands together for Team Livingston's Brent Chapman. How we doing, Brent?
I don't know. I'm sweating, but I don't think I quite have. Nope.
Today's weight, 12 pounds, 15 ounces. Going to be settling down into that 12th place position right now. And these guys, these anglers, man, they are the best in the world. They have shown what Lake Nickajack can do. Man, there were a lot of guys dreading coming down here. They didn't know how this fishery would be, but it's fished pretty good here today, Brett.
Yeah, it really was. You know, it's a testament to how great these anglers are, and you know, really exciting. They've been talking about you know, maybe going to some of these tournaments without any practice, and just shows how good everybody is. And I hope we get to do more events like this.
All right, great to see you. Safe travels. Thank you, Brent. And we're going to welcome to the stage our next angler. Come on up, Chad Wylie, Pineville, Louisiana. He's got 3 fish. Who's that out there, Chad?
That's my mom and dad out there. They drove 10 hours to come watch me.
All right, thanks for coming out. Today's weight, 5 pounds and 12 ounces, 512, but it's great to have great family support like you have here, Chad.
Yeah, there's a lot of people back home watching, too. I would have threw them back, but I've done it for everybody else. But it was about 7 of us doing circles on the freeway this morning. We all got lost trying to get here, and I've been lost like a crappie salesman at Lartow Lake since I got here. I spent half the day right here in the river, and when I made my way down about 12 o'clock, I noticed what Browning was talking about. It is a miniature Red River, and I caught them 3 real quick and come wade in. I wish I'd have went down there first. I don't know if I could have hung with them guys, though. Hats off to them, and no practice. They pretty stout.
Great job. Thanks for coming out this week. Always good to see you. Safe travels, Chad. Tommy Durham from Whitney, Texas. Always a solid competitor on the Bassmaster Open Series, and he's here at BASSfest. Today, just 3 fish.
Yeah, I decided that I was going to finish this deal off. I've spent about 10 grand, you know, truck's been broke down.
Hold one up, and we'll get some photos to mark the occasion, the inaugural BASSfest here in Dayton, Tennessee.
And I'd just like to say thanks to the guys at Charlie Rogers Ford down in Dayton. I've been broke down, and they've helped me. Pug Martin's a realtor up there, stayed at her house. People have been great. The organization has been great. Had a good time, just didn't catch them this time.
It happens to us all. Thank you, Tommy. Always good to see you, my friend. Safe travels back to Texas. And when Tommy's leaving the stage, put your hands together for Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. Coming on up here, Keith Combs. Yeah, just won the Toyota Texas Bass Classic there. And, man, that's like a habit for you to win down there in Texas.
Yeah, Texas has been good to me. Tennessee's a little bit different, though.
You need the TX, not the TN. Today's weight, 11 pounds and an ounce, 11 pounds and 1 ounce for Keith Combs. But, man, yeah, I mean, 11 pounds and an ounce, you catch one fish like that, it seems like every week down there in Texas.
I wish that was the case, but we do grow them pretty big. But they got them big down here. It's just, you know, I thought I'd come into this event and catch them like I like to fish, but it's been a little bit more difficult than I thought. But pretty good fisheries, this one too. I mean, 25 pounds, that's unbelievable. So, yeah, hey, congratulations on that. But maybe next time we'll jack them.
Yeah, that was like a Falcon Lake special right there, 25 pounds. What was it, 25-12?
That's pretty strong.
All right, Keith, you've had a great success on the Bassmaster Elite Series as well. Ooh, hey, coming on up, the most famous angler from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Put your hands together for Jonathan Van Dam.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Doing all right, I guess.
Yeah, you seem a little down, man. You okay?
Man, you know, it was actually had a fun morning, dude. I caught a bunch of smallies like this.
Yeah, leave it to a guy from Kalamazoo, Michigan to go catch smallmouth bass down here.
Unfortunately, you know, the state of Tennessee only lets me keep one of them.
All right, so if you could have weighed in your 5 biggest smallmouth bass, what do you think you would have had?
I mean, I would have had close to 20. I had, you know, 4 or 5 about like this size.
That's a good quality smallmouth bass. We're going to get a weight on that. What do you think? I'm guessing 3 3/4?
It's close to 4, yeah, pretty close.
Let's go ahead and get a weight on it, Jonathan. We'll see what this big smallmouth bass weighs. Oh, way over 4.5 pounds.
Yeah, you know, maybe I would have had 21, 22 then, but, you know, like I said, I can only keep one of them, so, you know, that's what I ended up. So I'm as happy to be here. You know, I'm looking forward to going home, so you want to wish my sister a happy birthday. It was her birthday yesterday, so I want to make sure I got that shout out.
You looking forward to that swing on the Bassmaster Elite Series up there to the northeast?
Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure. I'm going to try to get over to Philadelphia and practice a little bit. And you know, that's one of those tournaments that no one knows really anything about, so it'd be good to go look at it for a little bit.
All right, great job. Thank you, my friend. And coming on up from Moultrie, Georgia, put your hands together for J. Todd Tucker. Hey, Jay, how'd it go, man?
Oh, it was fun, man. I caught a lot of fish today.
How many did you catch?
Oh, I probably caught 40.
What was your bait of choice?
I caught everything on the jerkbait.
Oh, that's a fun way to fish. 9 pounds and 5 ounces, 9.5.
Oh, it was fun, though. It's a pretty cool deal, you know. We just all ran. You have to run 40 miles to get to the lake, so we spent basically we lost an hour, so we only had about 5 hours of fish, but it's just an old country boy shootout today, you know. Nobody really practiced down here and just went, and it's pretty cool if somebody catch 25 pounds. I think Aaron caught them too, so there might be another big bag coming up.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thank you. Appreciate you coming out and fishing with us, Jay Todd. Our next angler from Phoenix, Arizona, John Murray. Looks like John's got a pretty good bag there. Kind of struggled the first part of the week. No offense meant there, but looks like you had a second opportunity here today.
You know, I've had 4 days that I've caught 1 or 2 fish. So just catching 5, that was all it is for me. Go ahead, Tripp.
Today's weight, 11 pounds and 10 ounces.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, a lot of fish down there, but you knew if you didn't get a 5-pounder, you were sort of out.
You a big fan of this? No practice. Essentially, nobody really practiced down here because, you know, let's face it, nobody wants to think they're not going to make that top 50 cut, you know, and fish that third day on Chickamauga. What you like this kind of format where you got a bunch of guys that really haven't seen the water? It's just kind of a shootout like Jay Todd was talking about.
I love it. You know, biggest term I ever won was the bush shootout. Show up and fish. So that's the way I like to fish. But I did come down and practice the last day, so I sort of ruined it.
So your confidence was a little bit lacking up there, upstream.
Yeah, when I was catching up there, I go, I better get to Nickajack so I catch something.
All right, great to have you. Thank you. Our next angler, a Bassmaster Elite Series rookie in 2014, Joel Baker. All right, Joel, you looks like you found a limit of fish out there today.
I found 5. It was a struggle, but I did it somehow.
We'll get them to settle down on the scales. We're looking for 13 pounds and 8 ounces to get inside the top 10. 13.8, 13 pounds even. Ooh, gonna fall a little bit shy. Joel Baker settling down into the 12th place position right now. Good quality bite there, though, in that right hand. When'd you catch that bigger fish on?
Caught them all on a chug bug, pretty much. I had to adjust a couple on a Cinco, but the big one came on a chug bug.
All right, so you're throwing that topwater bait around, you're chugging it. Is there any particular structure? I mean, obviously, I see out here at the bow ramp, you got a ton of riprap. I'm sure this river is just lined with it, or were you keying on other items?
I keyed on other stuff. I ran down a ways, and I saw an island on my Lowrance GPS, so I pulled over to get near that island, and it had a big flat around it. So I just pulled out the chug bug, started throwing it. There's a little bit of grass and had a drop, but they were up in very shallow water on the flat. And I just stayed in that area. Schooling fish started coming up. I lost a couple that might have put me there. I don't know, but one of the funnest days of fishing I've ever had. The fish were blowing up all around me for 3.5, 4 hours, and I just didn't get the right bites. But what a day! I mean, it was a blast.
All right, big smile on his face. Thank you, Joel Baker. Great job. Oh, here he is. Everybody knows this guy from Gainesville, Florida. Put your hands together for Shaw Grigsby. How we doing, Shaw?
Well, we had a fun day out there, but I tell you, I only bring it in one, but it's a good one.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get a weight on it. Looking for him to settle down 7 pounds, 1 ounce, 1 fish for Shaw Grigsby. If you're going to catch one, that's the one you want to catch. A Nickajack giant right there. What'd you catch that big one on, Shaw?
That was a Denny Brower structure jig. You know, Denny's not here, so I got to hold up his end of the deal. But I'm not doing too good at holding it up, I can tell you that. I just haven't been catching them. But, you know, I caught 5 or 6 fish today, but they were just all little ones, and caught that one big one and just couldn't back it up with anything. But, man, it was really funny because, you know, I've been having a tough time, and I'm going down the bank. I get a bite, and, you know, you catch a little one. You're like, okay, well, I finally get a bite, and I go, oh, that's a good. And I set the hook, and well, now I'm thinking, is it a drum or is it a bass? So I'm fighting him, and I'm fighting him, and then he kicks a few times. I said, ooh, this is a bass. It's a bass. And then he comes up, but he's under the boat, so I can't see him, but he splashes right at the edge of the boat. And I'm like, oh, good, it's about probably 3-pounder. I'm going to boat flip that. So I bring it around the other side, and I'm reeling like a son of a gun. And I'm just going to heave him in the boat. And he comes into view, and I went, oh, I'm really messing. It's like, no, we're not boat flipping. I'm on my knees in a second. I'm down there in the boat. I go, come on. And then you go all ape, you know, and I finally get him up against the boat and land him. And I'm like, yeah. But it's pretty funny. I was talking to Charlie because Hartley caught him pretty good, and he's going to be up here in a second. And we're here sitting here reliving the moments, and those moments are special, and we're just sickos because we love it.
And what's so awesome, and what's so awesome is guys like you and Charlie. I mean, you've been doing this for years, but man, you guys are like every bass. When you catch 7 pound, 1 ounce bass like that, that's like your first big bass every time, man. You get excited.
It is. It's awesome. It's just fun to be a bass fisherman, man, and I'm just proud to be here. I got to say hi to my we are not on.
Yeah, we're streaming live. Absolutely. Say hello to Bryce.
Then I can say hi to Mr. Bryce because he's in there watching, and I did catch a big one. I didn't catch a lot, but I caught a big one. So.
All right. Always good to see you, Shaw. Thanks for coming out. And speaking of big ones, evidently Charlie Hartley from Grove City, Ohio's got a big one. We're going to take a look at it in a minute, but first we want to get you inside that top 10. We're looking for 13 pounds and 8 ounces. Oh, Tripp said you may be knocking Greg out of that 10th place position. Settle down 16 pounds and 13 ounces. Going to move Charlie Hartley into 3rd place right now, and I think he may be going fishing tomorrow. Right now we've weighed in just about half the field. We know some anglers probably going to fall shy of that mark right now that's moved up. Oh, man, this is good stuff. Hey, you know, I want to thank you for something, Charlie.
Yes, what's that, Chris?
I want to thank you because, you know, Tripp talked about it. In the mornings, it can be a bit of a fire drill, you know, especially we have kind of a split venue here. But you're so cooperative because you were the first angler here this morning. We didn't have to worry about you at all. You were down in the water with plenty of time.
I don't like lines, so I come early. And a lot of times I launch without putting the plug in, and if I do it early enough, no one sees me.
That is awesome. Well, thank you. I think you may get a chance to launch that boat again tomorrow. Charlie, appreciate you coming here to BASSfest, and we'll welcome up from Madison, Mississippi, our next angler, Pete Pons. Yeah, Pete, met you many, many years ago on Lake Eufaula. We had a great time down there that week, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did. We sure did. I thought you was my good luck charm, but you hadn't come back since. I don't know what's going on.
You got to get me on the Bassmaster Elite Series more. That's the problem. All right, Pete's got needs to have 13 pounds and 10 ounces, 13-10 to take over the lead. 10-7. Going to fall a little short, but let's go ahead and get some photos. Wait for these tanks to reload. We got a couple coming on in right now. All right. Anyone you want to say hello to watching out there?
Well, yeah, I got my family at home, and I got some family. Well, I got some good friends here, Jeremy, and the Amoses drove all the way here from Mississippi. They come to the BASSfest, so, yeah, it was just good time. You know, today it was kind of special for me. I ended up catching the fish on a lure called a skipper shad. They came up schooling, and that lure was invented by my dad back in the late 60s. And I pulled that thing out. Couldn't get them to hit anything. Pulled that thing out and tied it on, man. It was every cast. It was incredible. It's I don't even think they make that lure anymore. It's kind of a small lead bait that you can cast a long ways, hold your rod up and reel it slow, and it goes right across the top. and boy, they just eat that thing like it's no tomorrow.
Very cool. Awesome story. Thank you, Pete. We'll say goodbye to Pete, and we'll welcome up Jamie Caldwell from Carthage, North Carolina. Jamie, of course, qualifying out of the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open Series. And, Jamie, I thought when we came down here and they talked about ledges and using your electronics, I know you do mapping as a profession, right?
I do. I help Lake Master do some of the mapping. And, the stuff I've got on my boat, I mean, I'm running 4 different fish finders, and I've got an iPad on there. So I'm all over it. I mean, I can find them. There's no doubt about that, but lately it just seems I can't get them to bite.
All right. Well, you did manage to get 9 pounds and 2 ounces worth of fish to bite. You're sitting in 32nd place. Tell us about your experiences this week.
I mean, it's been great. Like you said, I qualified through the Open, so coming here to one of these elite events has always been a dream. And, one of these days I will be an Elite Series angler, hopefully soon. But this whole thing has been amazing. The crowd's been amazing. I've had a blast. And, my roommate's Mike Murphy. He made the cut, and, he can flat out catch them. But he said something to me yesterday that he said I might be the first active-duty military guy to qualify, if you want to call this, qualifying for an elite event.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I don't know. We'll have to Ken Duke, if you're watching in Dayton, Tennessee, we need you to look that up.
Hey, that could be something. But I hope to be there next year. I'll be retired this fall and on my way to the transition to make it to the elite. So you guys follow me, Jamie Caldwell, professional angler, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9. I got it. And I'll be here again. That's for sure.
All right. Good to see you. Thank you. Absolutely. Appreciate Jamie's service and all those men and women serving overseas and right here in our great country, protecting all of our freedoms. Come on up, Derrick Phelps from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I spent a lot of time there in Broken Arrow, and you spent some of it with me.
Yeah, I'm born and raised there. Love that place. Best place on earth.
All right, we're looking for 13 pounds and 10 ounces, and these fish are giving Tripp a fit. You see that? They almost injured them.
Everybody likes to see nice smallmouth. I wanted to bring them up for that reason. They're not going to do me any good.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at one nice smallmouth there. It's going to, what? Yes. Today's weight, 6 pounds and 10 ounces, 6'10".
And I wanted to thank a couple of people. Chad Lott runs and operates an online registration sporting event website, and I really appreciate his support. Thank you, Chad. Ron Dixon, he allowed us, my wife Tracy and I, to stay at his place this week. It was really nice. I want to thank him. And thank you, Tracy, for supporting me, allowing me to come. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed it. Wish I'd have caught him better, obviously. Sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug.
Well, we look forward to seeing you down the road. Thank you, Derrick. Another Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open Angler, Powell Kim from Scotland Neck, North Carolina. He's got 3 fish, 1 shy of the limit. I'm sorry, 2 shy of the limit.
Yeah, I probably caught 60 fish today, spot, smallmouth, largemouth, they just weren't keepers.
Just under that, of course, 15-inch limit for largemouths. It's 12 for spotted bass, and many of the anglers talking about it, including Jonathan Van Dam, 18 inches on the smallmouth bass, and you're only allowed to keep 1. Tell us about your week, Powell.
I tell you, the people here are just unbelievable. The fishing for me has not been the best, but those schools are just hard to get fired up and get them going, and you can be there 1 minute and catch 25 pounds and 1 minute don't get a bite. So, but it's been a fun week, and the people here in this community are just awesome.
All right, you're awesome as well. Look forward to seeing you at future events. All right, from Claremore, Oklahoma. Come on up, Brian Potter. Brian running around in that Skeeter Yamaha. Back safe and sound with his 5-fish limit. Looking for 13 pounds and 10 ounces. You got it, Brian?
It's going to be close. No.
Today's weight, 10 pounds and 11 ounces. Going to fall a little bit shy. He's settling down into 28th place. 28th place right now. Oh, not going to be enough to make that top 10 and get yourself $10,000 and back into the tournament up at Chickamauga. But great week for you, Brian. Glad to have you here.
It was fun today. I probably caught 40 to 50 fish today. Only 7 of them were keepers, though. I went through a lot of 14.5, 14 3/4 inch fish. And I made a move about 11 o'clock, and after 11, that's when I started catching them. So
What kind of baits were you throwing at those bass?
Caught a few on the top water. Most of them came on a swim bait, on schooling fish.
So you were actually visibly seeing these fish, chasing shad and bait fish up to the top and casting in the middle, and bam.
Well, I pulled over on the side of the river to flip a log, and I flipped the log and caught my biggest one. And then I seen those fish schooling on the backside, so I went up there and started catching them the rest of the day and had fun.
All right, sounds like a lot of fun. All right, our next angler coming to the scales. Come on up, Chad Pipkins from Holt, Michigan. How we doing, Chad?
I'm doing good. The bag's a little light, but doing real well.
All right, well, I'm not going to talk at all about your hair.
That's all right. We can talk about it if you want. So.
Let's talk about the fishing. Today, 5 fish limit, but 8 pounds, 8 ounces.
Yeah, it's a really neat format when you're going out looking at a new lake. It's all about getting clues in the morning, and unfortunately I got the wrong clue. And I lost about a 4.5-pound spotted bass this morning at the boat, and I just kind of kept going with that. It was a lot of fun. I caught a lot of spotted bass today, which is a blast. They pull real hard, and unfortunately just didn't get any more big bites. So.
And you don't have a lot of those spotted bass up in Michigan, do you?
No, they're a spotted brown, which I like to catch some of those. So hopefully we can get after those later in the year.
All right, we look forward to seeing you the rest of the year on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Oh, here's an Elite Series rookie. Come on up. I'm sorry, Rookie of the Year. That's what I meant to say. Billy McHagrid knew what I meant to say. Bassmaster Elite Series Rookie of the Year. I had to finish my statement. Tripp wouldn't let me. Today's weight for you, 13 pounds, 9 ounces. Going to fall a mere ounce shy of that top 10 cut, settling into 11th place. So right now, 13.10 is what we're looking for, guys. 13.10, not quite enough, but pretty good day on the water, either way you look at it.
Yeah, I had one fish actually bit a little bit too well, and that cost me 4 ounces there. Had one on the jig. It got it in the tongue. I left the jig all day, and I got up here while I was waiting. He croaked on me.
So bass don't like tongue piercings, is what you're telling me.
Actually, that's their aorta. If you ever hook one under the tongue, you just need to leave the hook and hope for the best. But that usually kills them. Had a great time out here. This is a good fishery. I actually rolled up this morning on a area where they were just schooling everywhere, and I could not get them to bite. Finally left and went out and fished the river like I know to do, and ended up having a pretty good day.
Did you make a run up to the dam with the rest of the field?
No, I actually went down and then just kind of fished my way back.
Okay, because we heard there was like 25 boats up there at one point, and then there was one boat up there. Evidently, it wasn't happening up there. You made the right choice.
Maybe a good thing I didn't go that way.
That's right. Good job, Billy. Appreciate you coming out. And we're going to welcome to the stage our next angler, fishing for Team Bass Pro Shops. Come on up, Kendall Newson from Decatur, Georgia. We're looking for 13.10. You got it, Kendall?
I don't know. I lost 2 good ones today. I just wanted to finish hard.
10 pounds, 15 ounces out of 3 fish. Good, solid 3 fish, man. If he could have finished out that limit, he'd be looking at a top 10 berth. Steady's going to settle into 28th place right now, 28th place. But great to have you here this week, Kendall. I appreciate you coming out and fishing BASSfest with us. I hope you enjoyed the experience.
Oh, it was a great experience. I just want to say thanks to my sponsors. Nitro is a great boat, and everybody that was before me that allowing guys like me to fish now. So Bass is doing a great job, and I'm just thankful to be here.
And we're thankful to have you. Thank you, Kendall. 10 pounds at 15 ounces is going to be your finishing weight here for one day on Nickajack. Oh, a living legend coming on up here. Zell Rowan from Montgomery, Texas. Zell, we're looking for 13.10. I think you got it.
It's going to be close.
Going to be real close, Zell says. 12 pounds, 3 ounces, 12.3. Going to find a little bit. Hey, the topwater thing was happening, man. Did you catch all those on topwater?
I caught them all on topwater.
Popper?
On a popper.
That Zell Rowan signature series popper?
No, this one was a little older than that. But no, it was a lot of fun. I caught a lot of fish, and I knew I needed one more good one, and it just didn't happen.
All right, well, great to have you. Great to see you, as always, Zell. All right, we're going to take a look right now at our top 10. Going to quickly run down our top 10 for all those folks watching on Bassmaster.com, as well as maybe you're watching at the Bassmaster Elite Series venue in Dayton, Tennessee. Going to go down our top 10, of course. He led us off with this weigh-in earlier today with a huge 25-pound, 13-ounce stringer, Schuyler Hamilton leading the pack. And ironically enough, the guy that weighed in second is sitting in second, Mike Hernan. Of course, Charlie Hartley just took that third-place position. Fourth, Kotaro Kereama. In fifth, Tracy Adams. In sixth, Brock Mosley. In seventh, Steve Kennedy. Eighth, Matt Reid. In number 9 spot, Mike McLaughlin. And in 10th, with 13 pounds and 10 ounces, K-Pink, Kevin Short, may get the opportunity. We got a few more. We got more anglers coming up right now. Of course, our second flight checked in at 2:30. Our second flight checked in at 2:30, and they're probably loading up those boats right now. A few stragglers looking to get up here. We weighed, 46 anglers, Tripp? So there's a possibility we got a few more anglers to weigh out there.
Well, yeah, I see them bagging them up out there. So, we wanted to get these fish through the weigh-in process. They're going to our Shimano live release boat back out here in the Nickajack. Rain finally stopped. Hope it's nice up there at Dayton at BASSfest. We're down here at Phase 2, so we'll see what happens. But it's been it's an interesting week, and these guys right here, these 10 anglers that advanced back up, they're going to go back on their 2-day weights from Chickamauga, which obviously will put them 51st through 60th. But the carrot for those guys is to try to move up in that money range. We saw Jacob Wheeler bust 29 pounds yesterday. There's $875,000 to be given away Saturday and Sunday. So that's their target. I see David Mullins from Tennessee coming up here and a few others. So we'll see how this thing shakes out. We'll be through here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, the payout here at BASSfest is incredible, second only, only to the Bassmaster Classic, of course, Super Bowl of bass fishing. And it's such an excellent opportunity to really mix the anglers, the Bassmaster Elite Series pros, which we know are the best of the best, but to have the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open presented by All-State Pros, give them the opportunity because they really are. They're the future of the sport. They're the future Elite Series pros. I mean, it's amazing in my 10 years doing this how many guys have come through that level and now are having very, very successful careers on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Right, Chris. Actually, this is our third, our AOY this year. Toyota AOY will pay $900,000 up at Escanaba, Michigan, but I just had to throw that in there for Toyota. But anyhow, yes, and you've done an incredible job. I tell you that all the time. I mean, our opens are rocking and rolling, and we're going up Champlain in a couple of weeks. How many anglers we have up there right now?
Yeah, we're just shy of a 200 boat field, and I believe we'll have that when all's said and done. And, that's, of course, and one of the great things about the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Opens, I'm going to take a little opportunity to plug that, is we have what we call co-anglers. Of course, Tripp talked earlier about the Marshall program here in the Elite Series, of course, here at BASSfest, which is a tremendous, tremendous program. But in the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Opens presented by Allstate, we have co-anglers, so all you got to do is be a Bass member. You pay your $425 entry fee. You sign up. You get to go out with not only, of course, the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open anglers, but many Elite Series anglers that are taking advantage of the opportunity to fish the Open division, as well as, great tour pros from, let's, face it, the FLW Tour pros are jumping on, and we're seeing a number of them qualify for the Elite Series, and it's great to, we just want to build that brand stronger and stronger.
Absolutely. We tell guys all to take all the opportunities you get. You only go around this game one time, and we're glad to have them in our Bass Pro Shop Opens, and love having them qualify for the Elite Series. It's the best of the best. Still amazes me how good these Elite Series anglers are. I've been doing it a long time, my 25th season, and I'm still amazed at how good these guys are, and especially with the technology and the equipment that these guys have now. There aren't any secrets. And I tell people all the time, ability-wise, a lot of these guys are the same. They all have the same athletic ability. It's figuring out the puzzle. And there's a select group of them, and that group changes with these young and up-and-coming anglers that can figure out that puzzle the quickest. That happened down here today. I mean, you look at Schuyler. He figured the puzzle out, and that 9:15 was a big boost. But even without that fish, he's probably fishing tomorrow with an outstanding sack. So these guys are great. It's fun to watch them.
Of course, that young guy leading the tournament right now, sitting at the expo, hopefully signing a few autographs. Jacob Wheeler there. I mean, he's not that old. I don't know exactly how old Jacob is. I'm guessing in his mid-20s, but he's already got a stellar career starting. He's got a good start to this event right here.
Well, yeah, he won the All-American. He won the Forest Wood Cup, and then he was in your top 12 a couple of weeks ago down the road in Dandridge. So, yeah, outstanding angler. And so we'll see what maybe a little bundle of nerves going against some of these guys. We'll see.
Man, he's got some big names right behind him, and it's one of those guys that would like to join the rest of the group. Of course, he's fishing out of the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open qualification. Come on up, James Biggerstaff. James out of Odessa, Texas. He's got 5 fish, and here's the number, James, and the rest of you guys lining up. We're looking for 13 pounds and 10 ounces. 11 pounds and an ounce. Going to fall a little bit shy. I'm going to talk to James here in a minute. First, he's going to show off his catch, his couple of his best ones from today. Yeah, put your hands together for James. Came a long ways from Texas to fish here, and I'm going to let the world in on a little secret. I came down here. Was it Tuesday we came down here, Chip? Tuesday we came down here to check it. Yeah, check out the site, and we saw one trailer that we knew was an angler out there practicing, and it said James Biggerstaff on that. You practiced here at Nickajack, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have anything really at Chickamauga that was for sure, and like I said yesterday, I used to fish this lake all the time when I lived here, so I came and hit some stuff that I used to fish here all the time, and I actually had 15 pounds that day. If you can tell by my fish, they kind of shrunk. I don't know, they're all skinny, like paper thin, but I saw a 4-pounder sitting on a dock. I went to one dock. I flipped in there 4 times, caught 4 fish, the same pile or the same little log. I put one in live well. I looked up. There's a 4-pounder sitting there, and I threw everything I had at it, and he wouldn't eat it at all. But all the little ones wanted it, but he wouldn't eat it. But I enjoyed it. I look forward to coming to BASSfest next year. Hopefully I qualify for it again, and had a great time.
All right, good to see you as always, James. Thank you. Take care now. Oh, man, this guy's having a tremendous season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. The rookie campaign, come on up, finished second just a couple weeks ago in the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Opens on Douglas Lake. Put your hands together for David Mullins.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good if these things go 14.
He's got 15 pounds and 14 ounces. Was it Greg Vinson that was sitting there in 10th? I think Greg's gone. 15-14, going to put David Mullins. Oh, Kevin Short. Thank you, Tripp. All right. This is good, man. You just made yourself $10,000. That's good.
I hope it is. What place is my in? Does anybody know?
5th.
Yeah, we just made 10 grand.
All right. How many boats are left down there?
I don't.
One boat left. We've got a few here in line, maybe a couple bagging up there.
Hey, it's a good day. You know, I fished this lake. I got lucky, and everything's lined out for me right this year. And I got lucky. A friend of mine fished the All-American last year, and he called me up and asked me to come down here and practice with him for a day before the cutoff. And I did, and I come down here and I idled around this place for like 10 hours that day and found 6 groups of fish then. So I actually had something to go on. I've only had one day of practice here, so I was like, I'm going to run down there. And 2 of the places I found still had fish on it. So I caught that 15, caught one on a 10XD, caught one on a 6XD, caught one on the whole hot lips, and caught one on the Bastric swim bait. So it was a little bit of everything, but I caught them all deep, and, it just worked out right.
All right, great job. Going to get an opportunity to go at it again tomorrow, I believe, unless this gentleman can say something about it. Come on up from Jacksonville, Florida, Patrick Pierce. He's got 1 fish, and not going to be enough, obviously, to get the top 10, but who do you want to say hello to?
Well, I just, funny little story. I caught that fish at about 5 after 2, and I was about 40 minutes away, so my late penalty. But I just wanted to come up here real quick, and I want to thank Starbright for giving me opportunity to come here and fish this event. And I want to encourage everybody out here and everybody watching on the video to come by the expo tomorrow. We'll have the Starbright booth set up. Try saying that fast. We'll be set up there. We've got a lot of product, and we don't want to take any of it back to Florida. So everybody come on by and get something. If you got any questions about boat care, fuel additives, any of that kind of stuff, come by and see us. I'll be there, so I'll answer your questions.
All right, good to see you as always.
Patrick, I got to talk about this. You've got a record. Nobody can beat your record right here. They cannot. You have 1 ounce after your penalty.
Well, that's something special.
Yeah, you cannot have any weight less than 1 ounce.
Well, I accomplished something today. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. All right, our next angler coming on up. See him on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Yo, and Big Mama, come on up, Marizo Shamuzu. Oh, Marizo, yeah.
Yes.
13 pounds, 12 ounces.
Yes, 15 pounds.
4 pounds. What?
I late today.
You lied?
Late. No.
Oh, you're late.
We're going through this English lesson. I've been giving him English lessons.
Yes.
Today, 3 words.
Okay.
I was late.
All right, say it.
I was late. I'm so sorry.
All right. Marizo was 4 minutes late, so he would have had 8 pounds, 11 ounces, but he's got 411. Wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
But I had a good time. The internet, right? Internet. Live, right? Yes. みんな、次の試合は絶対釣ってくるから。
Absolutely. Whatever he said.
I will catch them next tournament.
All right, he's going to catch them next tournament. All right, so, you're giving him an English lesson. He's giving you a Japanese lesson. So, Tripp, I want you to repeat just what he said.
What did you say, Sago? I will catch him next tournament.
No, I meant say it in Japanese, Tripp. Marizo, you got to work with him a little bit, okay? Come on up, Fletcher Shryock from New Philadelphia, Ohio. I want to always say Newcomers Town. Why is that?
I recently moved, but Newcomers Town's where I was born and raised, so.
Your brother's from there still, right?
Yep, he's still down there.
Fletcher, 10 pounds and 10 ounces, not going to be enough, sitting in 34th place, man. Good to see you as always, Fletch.
I almost dumped these fish back 'cause I knew I wasn't going to make the cut, but the first day here, this week has been such a humbling experience for me because the first day here, I zeroed.
And when Lisa when we were going through the standings and I saw that, I said, no way, what happened? Where did he break down? Did he not make it in? She said, no, he came in.
I couldn't believe it either. I mean, when I went into check-in and I was like, dude, you zeroed, and I really thought I was going to catch him. I didn't know how big, but I really thought I was going to catch him. So after having a day like that, man, 10 pounds, 10 ounces feels great, especially to come here. It was fun today. I've never been here, did the scramble on Nick and Jack and come up with some fish, and it's all good. I want to say thanks to all my friends and family watching at home, and we'll get them next time.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Flet. All right, our next angler coming on up, Team Livingston's Byron Velvick. Needing some big weight, Byron, looking for 13 pounds and 12 ounces to get inside the top 12. We'll get him to settle down on the scales. 11 pounds even out of 3 fish. What? Got a big one. Couple good ones. Couple bookends. Man, you got the novels you needed on the ends, but you're missing even the magazines in between, huh?
11 pounds to 3. I lost another one between 5 and 6. I didn't start throwing a swim bait until about 11 o'clock, 10:30. I love swim baits, and I'm working on a new Livingston Lure prototype swim bait. I mean, swim baits are my thing. I ran all the way down the lake. I started throwing swim baits, and it was my first pass. I caught one of those good ones. Then made another pass and lost like a 5 or 6 pounder. Then made another pass, caught another one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out of time. And then the storm hit. Thunder, lightning, which usually just turns the fish off. It was a bummer because 3 for 11, and I knew I had, a solid fish on halfway to the boat that would have easily put me in it.
And now you talk about, of course, Livingston known for their hard baits, their crankbaits and top waters and rattle baits. But talking about a swim bait, is it going to have that chip, that fish calling chip that's in all the Livingston lures?
Well, that's the beauty of Livingston. It's going to have that EBS, that electronic bait fish sound technology. So it's going to make the sounds of a bait fish, but it's going to be a swim bait. So, we're working on it right now. I'm trying all these different prototypes out, and that was a prototype when I was throwing down there, and they're chewing on it. But it's like, gosh, we need to take that thing to market. And it's a great, swim baits are just my thing. I love throwing them. And I had every chance in the world to go back, and $10,000 fish is going to haunt me all the way home. I do want to say, belated happy birthday to my mom. I didn't get a chance to go up on the stage yesterday. because it was pretty embarrassing, much like Fletcher.
So it was embarrassing in the fact that you didn't have any fish, or did you throw what you had back?
I threw what I had back, but I wrote Mom on my hand because I wanted to go say happy birthday to Mom, and I'm like, I'm not going to embarrass myself and stand in line with what little guppies I had. So I was like, Mom, I'm going to wish you happy birthday today because she's the one that got me started in fishing. She believed me when I was a kid, you know, and she took me fishing when I was 12, 13 years old and didn't have a driver's license. And so I owe my mom a lot, and it's her birthday, and I just wanted to say happy birthday to her. And everybody else out there, you know, take your kids fishing because, gosh, you know, my greatest memories are 10, 11 years old and fishing with my mom and having her just get me involved in the passion of fishing at a very young age.
And you're not alone. My mom was one of the first ones to take me, and she'd do a similar thing. I couldn't drive. She'd drive me. She'd take me hunting. She'd take me trapping. She'd take me fishing, drop me off, pick me up. It's great to have moms like that.
That's a heck of a mom. You know, if the dads aren't always there to do it, it's great to have a mom that'll sit there and get the kids in the outdoors. And she took us camping across the country, and I don't want to bore everybody with my life story here, but it, you know, it's a lot of fun to have parents that keep you in the outdoors. So I think, are you done? That's it? I'm the last guy?
No, yeah.
Is the Emmy music playing? I hear the Academy Award music? Here comes the hook from Tripp. I had my chance. Livingston Lure Swim Baits. They'll be out soon.
All right, put your hands together for all the moms. We'll end it on that. All right, speaking of moms, we got one sitting out here front and center, one very proud mom, because I want you to put your hands together for our leader. Had a very, very solid day, an awesome day with 25 pounds and 13 ounces. He's going to lead this top 10 back into the BASSfest competition. Schuyler Hamilton. Man, what a day. The folks watching in Dayton, what do you want to tell all those Elite Series guys, man? They just saw you put 25 pounds and change on the board.
I've got a lot of catching up to do, but it can be done. So I'm going into tomorrow with a lot of confidence, and there's a lot bigger bags than 25 on Chickamauga. So we'll see what I can do tomorrow.
All right, we're looking forward to seeing that, and we're going to take a look at the rest of that top 10. Of course, Mike Hernan in second, Charlie Hartley, Kotaro Kereama, David Mullins, Tracy Adams, Rock Mosley, Steve Kennedy, Matt Reid, and Mike McLaughlin. That is the 10 that are going to move back into the competition. Continue on. Saturday morning, 7 o'clock takeoff. Glad everyone came out today, and I urge you, if you're watching on Bassmaster.com, and of course you're watching there in Dayton, you know this is about to happen. Our college bass team's about to weigh in Dayton, Tennessee. They're fishing up on Watts Bar Lake. Now, if you're watching online, you're watching this live feed, you scroll down and click on the link, and you can continue and watch our college weigh-in. The great group up there. We're looking for a lot of festivities over the weekend, so get on over to Dayton, Tennessee. Get over and check out the BASSfest Expo, as well as our weigh-ins, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again. My name is Chris Bowe, Senior Tournament Manager with Bass. Look forward to seeing you all next time.